Hello, I'm currently editing this video in a coffee shop. Then I filmed this video like 4 months back, but I just got coffee with a friend and we were talking about this topic of social media and being tired and kind of feeling like the party's over a little bit. So I just wanted to add this observation that I think the sentiment that I talk about in this video is definitely felt across not just me, but I'm realizing my friend groups and people I know and people I talk to. I think we're all kind of realizing that social media has hit its peak and the content that we used to watch and see on it is just not the same as it was anymore, or maybe we're just growing up. And I think as part of that sort of movement against constant consumption on social media, I think people just want to create and have fun again, and do what the internet and social media was originally intended for, which is to express yourself and have fun with it. So I think this is a valid topic to talk about in this day and age, and if you feel the same way, please comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. Okay, let's start the video. I have never really disconnected from social media ever since I downloaded it when I was like 15 years old, so almost 10 years ago. I decided to delete it from my phone when I moved from San Francisco to New York City with my boyfriend. It was a really stressful and chaotic time. There was just a lot of stuff going on moving across the country. When I got to New York, it was kind of overstimulating, as the city is, but I think just having like social media made it all the worse for me. The pivotal moment for me was when I was sitting on the couch, like hunched over in a fetal position, and I was just staring at my phone for hours. I think I skipped through dinner time and I didn't even really pay attention to what I was looking at that point, and my eyes were starting to burn if you've ever used your phone for that long. So at that point I decided to make the decision to delete social media, and that's what I want to talk about today in this video, and just the method that I use to remove myself from the internet a little bit and what I've learned and felt since then. The first thing I did was I deleted my most used social media apps. So for me, this was Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Snapchat. Eventually, I went on to delete Facebook and the YouTube app, but you can just start with the first four because I think those are the most addicting. The second one is I let my friends and family know that I could no longer be contacted through social media. So instead, if they needed to reach me for whatever reason, they can just text or call me. The third thing is that I still allow myself to use my phone regularly otherwise for utility purposes. So texting, calling, email, checking my calendar, calling an Uber or Lyft, or ride hailing, checking my finances. You can still use everything normally. It's just the social media apps. The fourth thing I did was to charge my phone and laptop only at my desk. I saw a tweet about how we used to have designated internet stations in our home, and I don't know if you grew up with a desk that had a computer on it, and that's where kind of everyone would go to use the computer. But I really liked that concept of sort of limiting your internet usage to one place, just like how I try to limit working in one area to kind of train my brain in that way. So what I would do was I would put my phone charger and my laptop charger all on my desk at home, and at night I would go and charge my phone over at my desk, which happens to be on the other side of the apartment for me, so that my phone can be nowhere near my bedroom, and just leave it there overnight. If you're thinking, what if I need to set an alarm? Well, one, you can either get an analog alarm clock. There are other ways to set an alarm in the morning. Or two, we have Alexa, and we use Alexa to set an alarm. And so that's kind of one way to reduce your phone usage at night, especially if you're scrolling on your phone in bed. I don't think that's good. There were a lot of images, videos, articles, and texts that I was passively looking at by opening up these apps that I didn't necessarily want to see or seek out myself. Back when we used the internet a little bit differently, it was more so of a searching tool where you already had something in mind and you would go to the internet to read about it or watch a video, or if you wanted to go and check the news, you would go to certain sites. I think now the apps have been optimized in such a way where as soon as you open it, it shows you what it thinks you exactly want to see. And that's great for the most part. But I think other times it gets bombarded with like pictures of people that we barely know, but we still follow, or influencers, or sensationalized news that like, you know, is kind of a shocker first thing in the morning to see, or ads. We get bombarded with like a lot of ads. So I think I kind of realized that I was ingesting a lot of information that I just didn't really need to have in my brain. And it was taking up a lot of precious mental real estate that could have been used for deeper thinking or something more productive, or allowing myself to form my own thoughts and ideas. I think with Instagram, we have access to like way too much information about pretty much everything. People we know, friends we follow, friends of friends of friends, celebrities, lifestyle influencers. You can see, you know, where they're traveling and like what they're wearing, and, you know, their hair and their face and their makeup and their body and like their job. And there's so many points of comparison. I think those images and videos and thoughts that are planted in your head can sometimes be like a seed planted for like an insecurity to form. So I think I had found myself comparing myself a lot to like other images that I would see. And it's totally not to like the fault of the people posting them. I think everyone has a right to post and like share their highlights. But I think unlimited access to that, going on Instagram every single day and like seeing these pictures, sometimes you just gotta like set a boundary with yourself and not show yourself all those things. And I think that's really what I realized, was that when I deleted Instagram in particular, I really felt like I had a lot less reference points of comparison. And because of that, I felt like my confidence and self-esteem didn't waver so much on a day-to-day. Overall, it felt more stable. There just weren't any like triggers for it to like possibly shoot up or like go down. So I think it really helped to stabilize my confidence and self-esteem a bit more. I kind of felt like siloed in my own world because I wasn't looking at like new pictures and things that people were doing and stories on a day-to-day. So my days kind of felt a bit more even-keeled, kind of slower. Like it wasn't as stimulating or as triggering compared to like when I opened up Instagram or TikTok. And I think without that, it would allow me to kind of start thinking about like who I was as a person again, and really let me sit with myself. So I wasn't being so influenced by the endless amount of pictures and inspiration and things that I would see every single day on Instagram. I mentioned Instagram a lot in this video, and I do think out of all of the apps that I deleted, Instagram was the hardest one for me to let go of. And I think for me personally, this was because it was the app that I felt the most socially connected to my friends on. I would watch my friends' stories every day. I would look at their posts and see, you know, what they were up to. After about only a week, I like realized it was so much more inconsequential than I had thought. Yes, I did miss cultural references here and there, but I quickly realized that it was really not that big of a deal for me to be missing those, because one, I could literally just text my friends and ask them like what they're up to, or I could FaceTime or call them. And two, I could also actually like meet up with them in person and talk about them. And if they're really your friend, then they would still, you know, want to hang out with you and tell you about the important things that are happening in their life. I really appreciated that my friends were able to graciously adapt to my lifestyle change, and I was quickly able to find like alternative ways to socialize with my friends. I think that made me realize that Instagram is not the only place to stay in touch or be in the loop about certain things. My friends would also like just text me the Instagram posts instead, so I could still like look at the meme or whatever. Unfortunately, something I'm still dealing with or trying to get past, which are essentially my dopamine withdrawals and also my muscle memory and habit of scrolling. I still open my phone when I'm bored and scroll through apps. Even when I'm, you know, on the subway or waiting in line in the beginning, I would still like instinctively pull up my phone if I felt a brief moment of awkwardness. I really resort to Pinterest and Substack now, and I fucking hate Substack. I'm hoping to like wean off of that scrolling habit too eventually, but I realize that it has been so ingrained in me for so long that I think it's gonna take a while for me to get rid of this habit. I've started feeling bored again. My boyfriend has also deleted his social media apps too. But on the plus side, I've started checking out books at the library that's near my apartment. I watch more YouTube videos. I've kind of been getting back into like watching my favorite YouTubers and things like that. So just like trying to ingest longer forms of content because I don't really have any other short form content that can give me that quick hit of dopamine. At this point, I'm trying to reconsider my relationship with social media. One, what I want to get out of it. And two, how do I want to set up the systems in my life to allow me to get the most good out of it without falling into like the bad habits of it. Social media is two words. It's social and it's media. The social part is really, really valuable for me. I really love to connect with people online. Honestly, social media is what had helped me get my job today. I made a Spotify themed resume that went viral on Twitter. And so I think there's like so much benefit for using the internet for good. On the other hand, the second half of the word is media, and there is a lot of media consumption going on with all of these apps that we have nowadays. This media consumption can be really good in certain ways when it comes to like seeing new pictures or images or things or people or vibes that inspire you, encourage your creativity or encourage you to connect with new types of people. But I think too much media consumption is also not good. So I think that's the thing that I really want to limit with my social media usage, is just like not over consuming media at times when I personally don't need it or don't want to see it. I've kind of started going back on mainly just Instagram here and there. I think a new way that I'm approaching my usage of Instagram is I mainly just check it on the browser on my laptop at my designated internet station. And I think this is just a way for me to be able to like keep up with new events and things that are going on in person in New York City. Occasionally check the friends that I am close with and like seeing what they're doing. But I've tried to only allot myself 20 to 30 minutes at my desk. The main thing that I want to get out of this is to check events and things that are going on in the city so that I can go to things in person and meet new people. I'm still experimenting with different ways of using Instagram as to like have more control over my feed and curate what I'm seeing. The first thing was I went through my following list and unfollowed all like old, deactivated or irrelevant accounts or like people that I just don't want to see anymore online. Friends or influencers, you decide what that means to you. I really want to like make sure that who I'm following is intentional and that there is content that I want to see. It does also help, I think, with the Instagram algorithm when it comes to your feed and also your explore page. And another thing that I used to use in the past were time limits. I know a lot of people know you can set like a time limit on your phone, but what I used to do was I actually set like a passcode with the time limit, and then my friend had the passcode that I didn't know. So when I ran out of time, I truly ran out of time because I would have to enter a passcode which I didn't have. I think that was like an interesting way to like really be hard on the time limit. So yeah, hopefully you find this video helpful. I've also written this as a blog post, which I'll link in the description below. But if you've ever done your own social experiment, let me know, leave a comment in the video below. And yeah, thanks for watching.